Pisces, let's get into a reading. We are going to see how can you deal with the current emotions you're having. So I asked Patreon members, I try to do it periodically, what do they want to see? And that was a suggestion. So we're going to dig into it and see maybe what the current emotions you have going on and how you can deal with them. So if you guys need anything, check it out in the comments section. I've got the Patreon down there and all the things that you need. Some of you could be going through a moment of having to deal with a hard emotion. So this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the song from Morgan Wallen, Ain't That Some? And in the song it goes, Ain't That Some SHIT? And when I think of that lyric, I think of something that maybe happens unexpectedly, where it's like, well, damn, I didn't know that was going to happen. Ain't that some? I'm going to have to take care of that too. So some of you could be having something take place where it's like, I don't know how to handle this, how to deal with this. I don't even know what to think about this. That could be for some of you. How are you supposed to deal with your current emotions? How is Pisces supposed to deal with the current emotions that they're having, universe? Well, first you need to see that maybe some of the emotions that you're having are not true. So with temptation and deception here, I think one of the best things that you can recognize is that your feelings are not facts. Here's an example. If you have ever, heaven forbid, wanted to self-harm, you will know that in that moment you feel like you're unworthy. I'm unworthy of being here. Nobody cares about me. I don't want to be here. It would make life easier for everyone else. In that moment, your feelings are so strong that you cannot help but think, this is my reality. I'm alone. I'm isolated. When you might have tons of people around, it just doesn't feel like it in that moment. And if you go through with what you're feeling, you will not see that maybe your feelings are just that. They're feelings and they're not facts. I think right here, or at least right now, you need to recognize that, again, your feelings are not facts. And sometimes what we feel is not the truth. So there's been times where I have felt abandoned by people, or I have felt that it was their fault that the relationship was ruined, or it was them being mean. My feelings were valid in that moment. But maybe 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, I look back and I go, oh, I felt that way because my feelings were hurt. I felt that way because I wanted something and wasn't getting it. So my feelings were trying to protect me. When the facts of the matter might be, when my feelings get hurt, I act in a way where I will hurt your feelings. That's me being deceptive to myself because my feelings might be valid, but my feelings can also have me acting out of fucking character. So I think you need to see that if you're not careful, you could be deceiving yourself by acknowledging your feelings so much that you're making them facts. And with this feminine energy here, it's telling me that there could be a little bit of like woundedness, maybe even a little bit of insecurity that's also feeding that fire. So I do think right off the bat, you need to recognize that all the emotions you're feeling, how you're feeling today is not how you're going to feel later. I mean, I remember being little and thinking I had the worst parents in the world. Now, I will say this, they're not the best, but they're human. And I don't expect them to be anything but human. How you feel today is not how you're going to feel in 5 to 10 years. And being able to take a step back and say, okay, my feelings are valid, but do I feel this way because I'm hungry? Do I feel this way because I'm tired? Do I feel this way because I'm pissed off? Do I feel this way because I just got my feelings hurt? Why do I feel this way? Is it my insecurity being triggered? Is it something inside of me that's wounded and I felt abandoned that time and now I feel abandoned now, so I'm really going to go in deep? That's what I'm saying here. So being able to see that you're not the victim, that you're just an intuitive being trying to get through is going to be very beneficial for you. I'm also seeing for some of you that there's a lot of disharmony with maybe some people externally to you. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that you could either have family, friends, work, or a partnership that you're in where there could be a lot of disharmony. There's a lot of conflict. There's harsh communication. This reminds me of the family where they call each other out, but they call each other out in a way where they're attacking you. That's what I'm getting here. Or like the work people who want to tell you about yourself, and then you want to be like, okay, wait a minute, bitch. We're both making $12 an hour, so why don't you go back down to your pay grade and take it down a notch? Some of you, another reason why your emotions are so heightened right now is because there's a lot of conflict around you. There's a lot of arguments. It's like you go to work, someone's got something smart to say. You go home, your spouse is being a butt. You go into the room to get your kid, oh, they got something smart to say too. That's what I'm getting right now for you. And something you might need to see is that right now there's a lot of confusion in the air. You're not seeing everything clearly, and just because someone's having a bad day and they take it out on you doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Okay? So you could be having people saying things right now that they don't really mean, but it might be hurting your feelings. And then that's going to be a reflection of them, but then you guys are going to have to fix that in the future. And they're saying, listen, if someone says something right now and they're being a butt, and let's say it's your work colleague and you go, no, I can't help you. And they go, yeah, I didn't like you anyways. Okay, tell us how you really feel. Didn't ask. In 2 days, that colleague might come up and want to be your best friend again. You're not seeing everything clearly. What you need to see is that sometimes things can get confusing because maybe that person got triggered and they didn't know that you didn't mean to trigger them. It's not your job to baby other people's triggers. But if you're working with someone and they get their feelings hurt and you trigger them by one little thing that you say, and then all of a sudden they're taking it out on you, that's a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. You didn't mean to trigger them. You didn't go over there and go, oh, I wanted to hurt your feelings, so let me do that because I'm bored. So also recognize that. Also recognize right now, a lot of things that's taking place is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of people internally, what's triggering them, the things that they're dealing with emotionally and mentally. And that might then lead to people wanting to be in competition with you when, one, you can't compete when you can't compare, and there's enough for all of us. That could be communicating with you harshly and you being like, wait a second now, I don't know why we acting like this. They're saying in those moments, just look at it and go, okay, there's a lot of confusion. I'm not dealing with this. You're in a bad mood. Talk to me when you're not. I'll talk to you in 3 days. And they're saying, and you need to then go and focus on what your heart's desiring. You need to go pour into yourself. Right now is a moment of you focusing on yourself, self-love, pour into yourself. And also recognize that that is going to expand and manifest into something more. Okay. There's someone here overthinking the fact that they want to open their heart to you or wanting to reveal a truth to you. I'm hearing Jason Derulo. In my head, I see you all over me. In my head, you fill my fantasies. Okay, so this person could be fantasizing about you a lot. You heard the song. So, but this person could be thinking a lot. So much so that they're kind of trapped in their head. They're unsure if they should reveal a truth to you or open their heart to you. This could be someone saying, I have the biggest fucking crush on you. Like, I've had the biggest crush on you for 6 months. It's driving me crazy. I can't stand when I'm around you. You make me weak in the knees. That could be something that's going to take place. Now, I am seeing that this person's got a lot of passion and a lot of lust. Lust is going to be fueling them towards you, okay? This isn't someone you've rejected. This isn't someone that's not feeling enough. This is someone who's feeling on their A game, but they could be soul searching right now, which is one of the reasons they've not come towards you. There could have been restrictions they had to overcome, or there could have been lessons that they needed to overcome. If this is someone who hasn't taken action towards you yet, they might not have because they were maturing or overcoming problems. And while they were doing that, they were also doing introspection, soul searching. Who am I? What do I want? Maybe even doing a little bit of shadow work. So what do I think about shadow work? It's important for us to know why we do what we do, what makes us tick. Here's an example. People have the tendency to tell me when I'm getting triggered. I know when I'm getting triggered. I was in therapy for a decade. I know when I'm triggered. I know when I'm overreacting. I know when I'm being a brat. I know when I'm doing something and I'm probably going to regret it. I'm very self-aware. But in order for me to be that self-aware, I had to understand myself, my behaviors. Okay, if someone does this to me and then I act in this way, why do I act in that way? It isn't a reflection of them. It has something to do with me. What did they trigger inside of me? And it really can help you become a better version of yourself, because in that moment you could say, you know, before I would throw hands. I ain't going to throw hands because I got self-control, but I am going to tell you to back the hell up. And I'm going to warn you a few times because I will still throw hands. I've done enough introspection to understand why maybe before I wouldn't warn people, I would just hit them. But now that I'm a little grown, I understand there's consequences to my actions. It might be more money than I want to pay. And I also don't want to mess up my nails, but that still don't mean I won't smack. That's the energy I'm getting here. You got to know why you tick the way that you tick. And if someone had lesson after lesson after lesson, or restrictions, or issues, or they had to fight some sort of debt or some sort of contract, they were dealing with that while they got to know themselves and while they build their confidence. What do you need to know about this person wanting to approach you? You need to know that it's going to take a lot of strength and courage. That's what you need to know. That it's going to take a lot of strength and courage for this person to approach you. Okay, how do you deal with the current emotions that you got going on? Yeah, again, there's something here about lacking. Something here about lack, feeling like you're being put in battles where you don't have the resources or the ability to win, and feeling like the people that you should be able to rely on or call on are showing you their true colors. Now, if that's the case, let's say that for far too long you have felt like your bestie was amazing. And all of a sudden there's been harsh communication. All of a sudden there's like this competition setting. Maybe recognize that you weren't seeing the relationship clearly from the beginning. Maybe you should recognize that you use that relationship as some sort of escape route, and that you could have gotten into a little bit of like codependency, where it was like, no, my best friend won't do that to me. No, they love me. Okay, maybe they do love you, but maybe they love themselves more. Maybe they love their future and where they're going more. I say this a lot and people get mad at me, but do not expect yourself from other people. You might be the kind of friend that will you might be the kind of friend where somebody can call you at 2 a.m. and you'll jump out of bed and you'll go run into them and you're by their side. But that doesn't mean that they'll do that for you. That doesn't mean that they feel that that's something that they should do for you. And I am getting that for some of you. Some of you could be having a falling out with a family member or friend where you're recognizing they won't do the things that I would do for them. I'm hungry and I need food. And they're like, oh, well, you get paid next week. But if they were hungry and they needed food, I would let them come over and eat with us. That's what I'm saying. It could be something as simple as every time you call a friend, they won't pick up the phone. But if they call you, you better pick up the phone. That could be starting conflict. That could be starting an argument. And what you might not have seen is that you were kind of feeding yourself a fantasy. Now you're confused, but it's not confusing at all. This person has acted like this forever. You just didn't want to see it. You didn't want it to be true. Because if it was true, that meant what? That you were giving more all along. And some of you, you're really feeling the depths of that crumbling, or how lonely that feels. I mean, a friend breakup, tell me down below if you disagree. I feel like friend breakups are worse than love breakups. I'm gonna tell you, I broke up with people before and not been phased. I've had friend breakups and it's taken me years to get over it. There's some I still ain't over. because it'll take you down to your knees, especially if you look at them like a brother or a sister, or you really, really have them in the moments or the time of your life when you don't have anyone else. They leave, I would say, a scar on your heart. And sometimes scars can be good. They can show stories, but then you also remember the pain. Why am I about to cry? That's what I'm getting. So some of you, there could be something here about the weight. Also, I'm seeing here coming up that there could be an argument or some sort of disagreement between you and someone else. This could be, okay, I'm going to tiptoe very lightly. This could be a friend that you've got. This could be a client you've got. This could be a family member. There could be an argument ensuing over a child, someone's partner, someone that someone likes. What I'm saying is that someone here could be codependent on someone or addicted to the chase. You could be trying to tell this person, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think he's good for you. I don't think she's what you think she is. You could be trying to help a family member, a friend, a work colleague. You could be trying to help someone around a situation that they have. Because that person's not seeing clearly, they're trying to, usually if we've been through something, we can see the difference between actual reality and a fantasy. That's what I'm feeling with your energy. I am saying, though, that they might get really mad at you and have to take some time to go within for them to set new intentions. Mainly because you don't agree with them, or it's not going to work out the way that they want. Again, it could be an energy of like, you've got a girlfriend, she's dating a new guy. As soon as you meet him, you're like, oh honey, I've done counted 12 red flags. What the fuck you mean? And she could be like, but he's amazing. And you could be like, yeah, for a felony charge? What do you mean? I don't get it. This person could get mad at you, though. I don't understand. What's your problem? I don't know why you always do this. But that person might not be seeing clearly that they're codependent on the fantasy, not what it is. And the fantasy is, but we're going to be perfect together. We're going to build together. We're going to be, when that's not necessarily the reality. And that's where the confusion comes in. And then it's going to lead to you guys arguing or having a disagreement simply because you guys do not see eye to eye on the situation. Is that going to work out, or is that going to end up? No, what's happening here is it's kind of stressing someone out. It's making them feel stagnant. It's making them feel stuck, but it's also pushing them to do evaluation on what they believe, what they value, what's morally correct for them, and what they want in a relationship. So pretty much you're going to be a bad guy here coming up. You're going to say something someone's not going to agree with, and that's okay because you wear the bad guy very well. Then they're going to get kind of anxious, and I think it's going to lead to growth. Give me more on some of the emotions that you're dealing with. Okay. So there is going to be a contract, a dynamic. There's going to be an opportunity for you to teamwork with someone. So let me give you some scenarios. This is either going to be someone sending you a credit card in the mail. Hey, we want you to get our credit card. This could be someone reaching out to you. Hey, this is so-and-so from the finance company. We just wanted to know if you needed a small little loan. This could be that little friend group that kind of pushed you out because you started acting weird. Hey, did you know so-and-so is getting married? Yeah, we're going out. You should join us. Something like that's going to happen where something's going to come back around, where there is either a contract or there is an ability for you to teamwork again. This is what I'm going to say. Don't trust it, okay? Don't trust it. There is some sort of restriction here. So if this is a credit card, this is going to be the kind of credit card where it's like a 32% APR rate. If this is that group where they kind of pushed you out. You know, maybe you were in a boy group. You were hanging out with your boys. You got married, you had children. All of a sudden, they no longer ask you to go fishing or hunting. Now that you're getting divorced, or now that everything's settled and you got 2 kids, they're growing up, your wife's got her own little hobby, now all of a sudden they want you to be a part of it. Maybe one of them's progressing something in life. They're going to give you the opportunity to hang out with them, but what you're not seeing is that they have a motive. They have a motive to want you to come. So again, this could be that group of, hey girl, remember when we were in college together? Yeah, we ain't seen you in 5 years, and we know we didn't make it a priority to reach out to you. But you know, so-and-so's getting married, you should come. Hey, bring a gift. Same if it's a baby shower. There is a motive for the teamwork, the collaboration, okay? So I am seeing that there's going to be restrictions here, and there's a possibility of a new beginning, but it's not going to work out is what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, and you feeling stabbed in the back. You feeling like you have to be defensive. So that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing that there's an energy here of you. You know, this could be something as simple as going to hang out with the boys, and it's going to feel awkward. Going to that baby shower and they open your gift, yet they ain't going to speak to you. They ain't going to ask you how you've been. All they're going to do is stand around you and tell you how great their life is and how all of them are so in love and so happy. Who are you trying to convince, me or you? Who are you trying to convince? So you got me to come here to this baby shower or this wedding for you to tell me how great your life is? Didn't ask, don't care. And usually, the people who are going around screaming, my life is great, it's awesome, are usually the people over accommodating. If it's so great, it's so awesome, why do you need to tell somebody? Same if someone's rich. If someone's walking around screaming, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, they're more than likely not rich. They're more than likely living on a fucking credit card, okay? That's what I've learned. That's what I'm saying here. So be careful of something coming back from the dead and wanting you to like sign a contract, sign up. For some of you, this could be you getting confronted. I don't know why, but some of you could be going into an establishment and you could run into 2 people who want to confront you. That's going to be for a very small few, maybe 1 or 2 of you Pisces. If you know someone's got some beef with you, you might be running into them here coming up with the 7 of Swords. It's like kind of the day that you've dreaded, but you knew it was going to happen kind of thing. You might be running into them. You might also in that moment realize how mature you've gotten. So maybe if you would have ran into them in the past, something would have happened. Now you've really matured. You're a lot more stable, structurally sound is kind of what I want to say. So their tornado or their hurricane ain't going to be able to move you. But that is your warning. And you might have a lot of like fear come up. You might have a lot of like anxiety come up in that moment, okay? But I do feel like that could be a moment of you purging those emotions. So that could be why that's happening, okay? All right, I'm going to leave this here. Have a blessed day.